celebrated its 100th anniversary in the fall of 1988. An educational symposium for customers began the three-day celebration. Then came a variety of festival activities at Wheaton Village.
It's a little game. You've probably seen it on the TV, read about the radio, heard about a book, but the chances are you never played the game.
Very good.
The proceedings climaxed with a gala stage show held in a brightly decorated warehouse on Friday evening, September the 16th. 7,000 enthusiastic employees, customers, and friends attended.
We have a wonderful program for you tonight. We hope you enjoy it, and we'd like to kick it off with what I hope is an informative and interesting slideshow.
Tonight we celebrate the 100th anniversary of the founding of Wheaton Industries. What started out as a small glass company in southern New Jersey has turned into a gigantic worldwide enterprise during the last 10 decades. And tonight we proudly intend to look back to the people and products that have made this industry one of the largest of its kind in the nation. We salute the hundreds of customers who have come to Wheaton to solve their packaging needs over the last century. And we salute the thousands of employees and their families who have dedicated their lives to this company. Tonight, we congratulate you on your outstanding abilities and energies. The Wheaton products that have provided livelihood for thousands of people through the last century are well known throughout the world. Most people are surprised when they find out that hundreds of recognizable containers in daily use in households and businesses and laboratories are manufactured at Wheaton Industries. The company has become quite large during the last 100 years. There's no doubt about that. In addition to major industrial complexes in Millville and Mays Landing, Wheaton Industries operates 23 additional divisions in New Jersey. Plants are located in Missouri, Kentucky, Illinois, California, Maryland, North Carolina, Nebraska, Indiana, and Florida. There are also Wheaton business operations throughout the world, including Europe, Canada, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Brazil, and China. Tonight, we salute the incredible leadership that has given this company its competitive edge in an increasingly complex world. We say thanks to all those in the Wheaton family who have meant so much to so many people. And especially tonight, to Frank Wheaton Sr., we send our love. You've had a great impact on many of our lives. And we know that somehow, right now, you're here with us. All of us miss you. This celebration is also a good time to recognize that the reputation for excellence that has already been established will continue. For Wheaton's future, we see nothing but the finest. May the last 100 years only be a prelude to the contributions of the future. For we know that as long as this organization continues with cooperation and teamwork, nothing is insurmountable. So as we begin this gigantic birthday party, we extend to everyone involved our sincere congratulations. And what would be more appropriate than to show our appreciation for Wheaton Industries right now? With a gigantic round of applause as we begin the show, happy birthday, Wheaton Industries.
For the next several minutes, we would like to introduce a group of dignitaries, people who make this country and this state run, people who make this city run. There were a whole group of people who said, I'd like to give a presentation to Wheaton Industries. And from this group, we said, let's let a few be representative of the kind of support that we see for this great company. Right now, I'd like to introduce to you for the first such recognition, New Jersey Assemblyman, 1st District, Ed Salmon.
We are very proud and honored to join all of you for a special and well-deserved salute to the Wheaton family, the Wheaton employees, and the friends of Wheaton Industries. To present our special award from the state of New Jersey, I'd like to ask Frank Lobiondo to make that presentation.
Thank you, Ed. It's indeed a great honor and a great pleasure to be here tonight to make this presentation. What the Wheaton family has done for Cumberland County and the state of New Jersey, and in fact the entire country, is something that we're also extremely proud of. So right now, on behalf of the New Jersey Legislature and Assembly Speaker Chuck Hardwick, we'd like to make this presentation to Wheaton Industries in thanks for 100 years and hopes for 100 more. Thank you.
It's a pleasure to accept this gift on behalf of Wheaton Industries. Thank you.
Let's give a nice round of applause to Senator Jim Hurley.
Members, thank you very much. Members of the Wheaton family, employees, and customers of Wheaton Industries, ladies and gentlemen, I am deeply honored to be here tonight to make this presentation on behalf of the New Jersey Senate. I salute you. Thank you very much.
Jim, thank you very much. I accept this with pleasure. Thank you.
We'd like now to have John Feltz, who is the president of the chief of the Millville Rescue Squad, to come forward for a brief presentation.
Through myself as the chief and representative of the rescue squad, as well as the citizens of Millville, every EMT that's been in the rescue squad over its 30 years of existence and time, and I'm sure every life that's been saved as a result of our operation and existence, I must thank Wheaton Industries and Wheaton's family for all of its help over the years. Thank you.
It was interesting to be able to visit with various top executives at Wheaton and to ask them to recount some of the history of the company. And the most interesting was Frank Wheaton Jr., recognized as the new idea man for the last 56 years. He has been the driving force behind the new products and processes that make up the large and diverse company that exists today. Let's go behind the scenes for a few minutes and visit Frank in his office in Millville.
You ask about plastics. 1951, I believe it was, we felt that we ought to be in the plastic business because we had seen some bottles that were out on the market, and they were basically in the cosmetic field. And I felt that it was just a matter of time before the plastics would come in and replace a number of the glass bottles that are used in the bathroom especially. The Plax Corporation, which was owned by the Hartford Empire Company at that time, was the original.
Mr. Wheaton told an interesting story about how he sent his engineers to find the available technology. And within 2 weeks, he had purchased the rights to a process for making plastic bottles that was different from anything available in the United States at that time. He proudly showed the first prototype bottle.
Actually, this bottle, we spent about 3 to 4 years perfecting it to the bottle we're making today. I suppose we stopped on the project at least 3 or 4 times thinking, well, maybe it is an impossibility. We had to mechanize the whole thing, fully automated. And it took us 3 to 4 years before we even sold the first bottle. The process is known as the injection blow molding process. But this is just typical of what has made Wheaton. And one of the greatest assets I think that I've had in my life is luck on this shoulder and timing on this shoulder. And as I look at these various things, I can visualize if I hadn't recommended doing it at the time, it would have been too late. We couldn't have done it.
It was because of Frank's foresight that Wheaton became the first to commercially develop the injection blow molding process, which eventually revolutionized the world of plastic containers. It took inspired leadership, luck, timing, and the hard work of thousands of dedicated Wheaton employees. And the result? The Wheaton Plastics Company. Today, one of the nation's largest and most successful producers of plastic containers.
Now we'd like to introduce to you the chairman of the board of directors of the Millville Hospital, Elizabeth Miller.
The Wheatons have been very generous in providing guidance and monetary assistance since the inception of our community hospital. Frank Wheaton Jr. has served for many years, 20 years to be precise, and helped to make the hospital the modern facility that it is today.
Next, I'd like you to meet Cumberland County Freeholder Director, Mr. Charles Fisher.
Wheaton Industries is synonymous with stability, progress, achievement, worldwide recognition, and especially for your personal dedication to providing opportunities for the people in the county.
I would like to see the Wheaton employees especially give an incredible round of applause to those customers who came here tonight and are being represented right now by Mr. Roy Kerr. Would you come forward, please?
Please accept this plaque as a lasting memento of our appreciation for a job well done and a commitment to the close, continued relationship between our two corporations for the next 100 years.
Roy, thank you very much.
Well, yesterday was a very exciting day, and I have some exciting news for you that relates to yesterday. Because the phone rang about 10 o'clock in the morning, and a very important person in the state of New Jersey's office called and said, "We are sending a helicopter in tomorrow because we have someone who wants to be at your party." Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited right now to announce and to introduce to you the Governor of New Jersey, Mr. Thomas H. Kean.
TC was good with a dollar, but he also had a keen eye for business opportunities. He knew that the glass used to store medicines wasn't really of a high enough quality. So he decided his factory was going to make glass the Wheaton way, which of course was the right way. But TC faced problems. In November of 1889, a disastrous fire destroyed 6 of the original 7 factory buildings. 8 tons of glass tubing were melted into a useless mass. So after that fire, TC faced a choice. He could rebuild, and that would take a lot of time and a lot of money, and he'd face an uncertain future. It would also mean, by the way, giving up his doctor's practice. Or he could quit. Well, any of you who know Frank Wheaton or any of the Wheaton family members know that never, ever, ever do they quit. So by 1890, T.C. Wheaton's factory was up, and it was running in fine shape. So I wanted to come here today, not just as governor, but as representative of over 7 million people in the state of New Jersey, to say congratulations to Wheaton on their 100th anniversary. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. George Straubmuller, a director of Wheaton Industries and the man responsible for building the Wheaton Tubing Products divisions.
We started out with only ampule machines, no vial machines. And today we have, let's see, what is there? 7 plants? I think we have 7.
So many plants you can't count them.
Millville, Canada, North Carolina, Easton, Syracuse, Puerto Rico, and the new one we're putting up in Indiana. So we have 7 plants with 56 machines now, I believe.
How big is Wheaton Tubing Products compared to the market? You're one of the bigger companies now in the country?
We are one of the leaders, yes. We make, of course, only borosilicate. Some of our competitors make Type 1 and soda lime. I imagine we're one of the leader in Type 1 glass.
Well, as one of the directors of the company now, what do you see for Wheaton Industries in the future?
Nothing.
Big question.
Nothing but expansion and a good future for the family and all the employees.
What do you attribute the success of Wheaton Tubing Products to? What's the bottom line? Why has it been so successful?
Because, Stan, every team has a quarterback. But the quarterback has a team, which makes it successful. And very quickly, the names George Hamlin, George Bartels, Carol Green come right to the top of my list. Because without the team, along with all the other employees that we've picked up over the years of expansion, we wouldn't have this party if it wasn't for them and this celebration.
Next, I'd like to introduce to you the mayor of Millville, New Jersey, and like a nice warm round of applause for your mayor, Sumner Lippincott.
Now therefore be it resolved on the occasion of the celebration of the 100th anniversary of the establishment of Wheaton Industries and its appreciation for the contribution the company and its leaders have made to the economic life of our city, the Board of Commissioners of the City of Millville does hereby congratulate, acknowledge, and pay tribute to the Wheaton organization, especially the President, Frank H. Wheaton, Jr., the Board of Directors, and to the thousands of Millvillians who have faithfully served and maintained this long and proud history of this outstanding industry empire. And further, that a copy of this resolution, signed by the City Commission and attested by the City Clerk, be spread upon the minutes and forward to Frank H. Wheaton, Jr. Congratulations.
Next, I'd like to introduce to you a Wheaton employee, because those of you who live and work in Millville may not be fully cognizant of the tremendous impact of this great company. Here to help you with that and to introduce you to some of our international associates, I'd like a nice round of applause for the Vice President of Wheaton International, Mr. Roy Barbosa. Would you welcome him, please?
As you can see by the many colorful international flags displayed right and left here this evening, Wheaton Industries is greatly involved in the global marketplace. Our overseas activities now span half of this company's 100 years history. While exporting of our glass containers began in the 30s, this business has grown and evolved, where we currently export our glass and plastic containers, laboratory products, and the finest machinery equipment to over 60 countries through a network of 154 dealers. Beginning in the 50s, right after the war, Wheaton began a successful program in licensing its technology and know-how for the manufacture of glass containers for the pharmaceutical and cosmetic industries, which continues today, and made so a major contribution for the quality standardization of packing containers worldwide. Over the years, we have been associated with over 40 companies in 25 countries, assisting in the production of quality glass and plastic packaging. In addition, we formed new joint ventures with overseas companies involving top quality plastic packaging, glass containers, glassware, as well as precision pharmaceutical rubber products. We are proud to have in attendance this evening over 75 executives from 20 countries worldwide. We would like to recognize these valued friends and associates who have traveled thousands of miles to come and celebrate this wonderful occasion with us. May I ask all of our international friends to please stand up and ask you to give them a big round of applause.
I would like to introduce to you the Managing Director of Wheaton Plásticos do Brasil, who came from Brazil for this event and, of course, other business that he was working on. Quite a character. I hope some of his personality shows through. Welcome Sam Farrell, please. Sam.
Good evening, everyone. Did you ever wonder what it's like to work for Wheaton outside the United States? Well, it sounds like this. Kumbawa, bonsoir, gute Nacht, buenas noites, y boa noite. And it all means good night. So let's put it up this way. It's not how it sounds, it's how it is and how you feel that counts. We from outside the United States, the European community, the Far East, Oceania, Australia, the United Kingdom, Africa, and South America, we all work and go together to make up Wheaton Industries and its associates. As Wheaton Industries started out with Theodore Wheaton, and today is one family with many different family names, people who work at Wheaton's also have many different family names. We, the people at Wheaton, dedicate half of our productive lives to this Wheaton cause. We have joined together with Wheaton and with our fellow workers as partakers in one bigger family. By an adult act of choosing, we have made friends and work in harmony. We have not only chosen Wheaton and been accepted by Wheaton Industries, but we share information and are given space to grow. We hope others will grow, building upon our own creativity and mutual understanding in getting a job done well. Working for Wheaton is not working for just a name, Wheaton Industries. It is working for and with real people. A few of them with Wheaton family names, but the greatest part of them, Wheaton friendships, which involve each one of us. And that is what has made Wheaton a success story yesterday, a centennial celebration today, and a guarantee for the tomorrows, based on Wheaton friendship all over the world. Happy centenary, Wheaton Industries. Congratulations to each Wheaton friend who has made today possible. How sweet it is.
This deserves a round of applause. 40 years apiece, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, give them a round of applause. 40 years. Let me start at this end, and let's ask how long, and tell me your name, and how long have you worked here, sir?
Paul Ansley, 42 years.
42. Paul, and next we have?
Charles Hoover, 43 years.
And next?
Harold Peacock, 41 years.
And next?
Mike Panzischen, 40 years.
Boy, he says that with pride, let me tell you. Next?
John Kiley, 41.
And next?
Walt Panis, 42.
Ralph Konchak, 42.
Denny Robbins, 40 years.
Here come the heavies now.
George Stromauer, 42, and I wish it was 10.
And last, but certainly not least,
Frank Wheaton, 56.
Oh, isn't that exciting? Frank, come forward for a minute here. Come forward for a minute. I want to, following the program, since we're trying to keep this very concise tonight, each of you are receiving an award that says Wheaton Industries. To Frank Wheaton, Jr., on the occasion of the 100th anniversary, we especially want to thank you for over 40 years of service to this company. Your contribution helped to establish Wheaton as a leader in the package industry, September the 16th, 1988, and also a beautiful paperweight and signed by the board of directors. So if you would accept this on behalf of all of these gentlemen, following the program, we would like to have each of you come backstage. We have one for all of you, and even the folks who are either here, not here, or working tonight. Thank you very much.
I accept this for all of the colleagues here. I think George Stromauer really talks for me as well. I wish I had only 10 years and knew what I know today. But I'll speak to you later.
40 years, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Edward Wheaton, a member of the Wheaton Industries Board of Directors and president of Wheaton Scientific Company. Tell me about Wheaton Scientific today, Edward. It's a big company today.
Yes, Wheaton Scientific is a division of Wheaton Industries, of course, and we have a number of different companies. We have instrument companies, we have apparatus companies, glass apparatus. We sell tubing to the scientific community. We are in plastics today. We have our own plastic companies, and we have some other operations which are sort of confidential. This is an example of the Wheaton Kimmler media bottle that we designed. It had a larger opening here than it has a pour-out finish. This one happens to be made of PET, which is a clear plastic material. We have high hopes for this particular item. It has the sloping shoulder so that as they're pouring into the Petri dishes, they'll get complete drainage out of the bottle. And also there isn't any drip because there is a dripless finish on here. If you turn it back, you don't get the drip. So there are some features here that you look at this bottle and say, well, that's just an ordinary bottle. But there are some features here that are very important and make it an excellent media bottle.
Do you expect a lot of growth in your division?
We are very optimistic about the future, and while we are not the largest company right now, we really expect to be the largest company in 6 to 10 years.
Is that right?
This is what
That's exciting.
Oh, it is exciting, and we think we can do it, even though there are people that have been in this business a lot longer than we have. We think that we can overtake them.
That's exciting to have a goal like that, to be that large.
Well, I don't think there's any question. I have a great deal of pride in the organization. I just hope we can continue to hold it as a family-owned organization, and I'd like to see us go on for another 100 years.
I introduce to you your president of the International Glass, Molders, Pottery, Plastics, and Allied Workers International Union, President James Hatfield. Ladies and gentlemen.
I have a resolution that I wish to present to Wheaton on behalf of the GMP. A resolution in honor of the 100th anniversary of Wheaton Industries. Whereas the GMP members who are employed by Wheaton Industries are mindful of the hard-working example set by Dr. T.C. Wheaton, corporate founder, Frank H. Wheaton Sr., and Frank H. Wheaton Jr., and their many contributions to the growth of the company. And whereas Wheaton Industries is an acknowledged leader of the industries in which it is involved, whose honors rest upon a determination to manufacture products of high quality through the most advanced processes, and to create jobs and to maintain higher levels of employment. Therefore, be it resolved that the GMP salutes Wheaton Industries on the occasion of its 100th anniversary for its many accomplishments, and be it further resolved that the GMP, its officers and members, express their firm desire to continue the harmonious relationship that typifies our long association. Presented Friday, September the 16th, 1988, James E. Hatfield, International President. Thank you, and the best of luck in your next 100 years as a giant in our industries.
Well, I now have the pleasure to introduce a good friend, a member of the Board of Directors and president of Wheaton Tubing Products. Let's have a nice round of applause for Mr. George Straubmuller. George.
Honored guests and fellow employees, welcome to Wheaton Industries' 100th anniversary. Upon entering this building this morning, the first thing that caught my eye was this large cake sitting on the platform. Two questions went through my mind. What ingredients do you need to make such a cake? And what are we celebrating here tonight? For the answers to these questions, my thoughts go back to the year 1888, when Dr. T.C. Wheaton made the decision to leave the practice of medicine and enter into the manufacturing of glass. Why did Dr. Wheaton choose glass? Because having been a practicing pharmacist, he knew the importance glass played in packaging. 100 years later, glass is still the best the safest for packaging of pharmaceuticals. From this modest beginning, Dr. Wheaton dedicated his life, his efforts, and talent to making his company successful. As time catches up with all of us, Dr. Wheaton passed the management to his two sons, Frank H. Wheaton and Theodore Wheaton. With outstanding management, Frank H. Wheaton Sr. continued the growth of his father's business, along with leading it through the Depression, the Great Depression. Mr. Wheaton was gifted with great foresight, and he knew that the T.C. Wheaton Company would have to change its course if it were to be successful in the future. He could see the end of the hand operation because he knew of the new machines that would be making bottles. So now we know why we are celebrating tonight. An unusual success story, the ingredients being outstanding leadership, devoted and skilled employees, loyal customers, and supportive families. And now, my friends, representing the Board of Directors, it is my pleasure and my honor to thank you all and congratulate you all for a job well done. God bless you all, our country, and our company.
Next, I'd like to introduce to you the United States Congressman who is here with us tonight for a very special presentation. Would you give us a nice round of applause for United States Congressman William J. Hughes, ladies and gentlemen.
So it is my pleasure to present a proclamation which reads as follows to the Wheaton Industries. Whereas Wheaton Industries is marking the 100th anniversary of its founding in 1988, whereas Wheaton Industries has contributed greatly to the economy of South Jersey, employing thousands of its citizens and promoting commerce throughout the region, the country, and the world. Whereas the standards of excellence achieved by the employees of Wheaton Industries are emblematic of American know-how at its very best. We hereby congratulate Wheaton Industries on its celebration of 100 years of entrepreneurial and community success. Congratulations, Wheatons.
Let's welcome Senator Frank Lautenberg.
Wheaton is still here. It's adapted as time passed to changing markets and changing technology. All of us saw the messages from the various division managers, so we can be sure that Wheaton's going to be around for another century. I would that I could be here with you to celebrate the next 100-year anniversary. I'm proud to be here as your United States Senator and to wish you, the Wheaton Company, well. You've been a class act, and a class act for New Jersey and our country, and we all thank you very, very much. Congratulations.
I'd like next to introduce to you a person that represents the new young leadership of Wheaton Industries, the Executive Vice President of Wheaton Industries. A nice round of applause for Mr. Robert Vecti. Bob Vecti.
Our plan for the future is simple, and our single greatest resource is our people. We are committed to the personal efforts and energies required to strengthen and increase the skills and talents of our loyal employees. We must preserve the unique Wheaton environment in which imagination, innovation, and productivity can prosper. We will seek out partners when both parties' combined assets provide the customer with a superior service or product. Quite simply, we want to offer the best product and the most consistent and reliable service possible in every market in which we participate. Our goals are not achieved easily, nor with short-term planning. They can only be achieved through a unique and vibrant partnership between Wheaton, its employees, and its customers. I thank you for being here and celebrating our 100th, and I invite you to mark your calendars to come celebrate our 150th. Thank you.
Many products that are commonplace today were originally developed and packaged right here in Millville. And most insiders know that a good portion of the packaging ideas that have placed Wheaton Industries on the map began in the fertile mind of Frank Wheaton, Jr.
While talking to Bristol Myers Packaging Group one day, they told me they had probably the best underarm deodorant on the market, but they couldn't find anything to package in it because if they put it in tin, it would go right through it in 3 or 4 weeks. I said, why don't you put it in glass? They said we did, but we dropped one and it blew all over embedded glass in the wall. So I forgot it until about, a month, 6 weeks later, and going through a magazine, industrial magazine, showed the method of making gloves, which is taking a metal hand, dipping it down in PVC, pull it out and cure it and strip the glove off. I thought, why can't we do that with a glass bottle? So I wrote to I believe it was a Goodrich company at the time, asked them to send me a gallon of the material, PVC, took it to the laboratory, dipped the bottle and cured it over a Bunsen burner, and that was the first aerosol bottle. That was a good portion of our business there for a while.
Glass, plastic-coated aerosol, and safety-coated containers became a huge business throughout the world. But the market unexpectedly changed, and it took imaginative thinking to keep up with those changes.
The business went very well until the Freon, which was used for propellant, was banned by the United States government, and it slowed down considerably. I just happen to remember that down in Brazil, we had made plastic flowers out of polyethylene, and we introduced an essential oil, and a rose would smell like a rose, and a carnation would smell like a carnation. I said, why can't we make a room freshener by taking a glass bottle and coating it with PVC with a room freshener scent in it? Took it to Avon. They thought it looked pretty good to them. And they gave us an order. And in 3 months, they shipped more than any other product that had ever shipped before, $27 million worth of it.
But the market once again changed. And in Frank's words, there came a time when
everybody had one that wanted one. So we had to have something back here to bring out to replace this. And we came up with the idea that why not take a wax and impregnate it with a room freshener and make it in the shape of, anything. We happened to pick on an owl. We thought that was fine, but then we didn't know how to cool it fast enough if we had any quantity with solid wax. So we ended up by making a machine, which we filled the wax in here, put this on top of it, and rotationally molded it.
this technique made the figurine hollow, and it was never removed from the mold, but was shipped in it. The mold became its own clear plastic shipping container. This product was sold by the millions for many, many years. From plastic-coated aerosol bottles to decorative glass room fresheners to rotationally cast plastic figurines, the imaginative mind of Frank Wheaton continued to produce new ideas.
For a few minutes. Well, we've talked a lot about Frank Wheaton during the last few minutes, and I could talk about Frank Wheaton for the next 15 minutes. I think he is one of the most inventive people that I personally have ever known. And having had the opportunity to work with him, I admire him a great deal. He has many, many strengths. I don't want to make this a long introduction, because if there is a person at tonight's event that does not need an introduction, it would be Frank Wheaton, Jr. We've tried to give you a little bit of feel for him personally through these slideshows, and I'm anxious to hear what's on his mind tonight. And I hope that the ceiling raises 3 inches with the volume of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, the chairman of the board, president of Wheaton Industries, Mr. Frank Wheaton, Jr.
I have to assume you're all out there, but I can't see a thing. Boy. Welcome to the festivities tonight. We're very happy to have you all here. And I'm awed, that's all I can say. I just wish that my father and my grandfather could be here and see what has happened to their company. Let me tell you a little bit about our company. My grandfather and I've told this to many people, but our grandfather was born in Tuckahoe, which is 15, 18 miles from here. Went to the local school and decided after schooling to sail before the mast. At that time, we had many sailing ships taking wood around in the ocean up to the Delaware Bay to heat the homes in Philadelphia. Unfortunately, every once in a while, the weather was not so good and he got seasick. And after 6 months of that, he said, "I've had enough of this." He went ashore and worked in a sawmill. Worked there 6 months and made enough money between the two jobs to go to Philadelphia College of Pharmacy and became a pharmacist. Came to Millville, opened up a pharmacy, in a year or two sold that pharmacy, had enough money to go to the University of Pennsylvania, became a medical doctor sometime in the 1876s or 77s. Had a local practice, and as you heard before, a small glass plant was started, and Dr. Wheaton invested in that plant. It's something that only in the United States you can do. From that small beginning, we've come to the operation which you see today. You've seen by the pictures a number of the plants that we have. I think we have 41 plants in the United States today, and 6 months from now there'll be 45 plants, as we're building 4 new plants right today. We could not have done this. You can have a coach and a football team, but you have players. And without the members of the Wheaton Industries, both the salaried people and the hourly people, we could never have accomplished what we've accomplished. And really tonight, the gratitude and the fact that we're all here today is basically because of the time and the effort that all of our folks have put together. And it gives me a great deal of pride to have sort of masterminded or been the coach to all of this. Now you ask, well, what are you going to do now? Well, if you had been with us the last 2 days, and we've had seminars on what's new in plastics, what's new in glass, what are we going to do with this and that. I've never, in my 56 years, been in a position where we have so many things to accomplish and things in front of us. We have a group of world associates where a customer, like Squibb, for example, or like Avon, or Revlon, wants a container made in one of the free countries outside the Iron Curtain. They probably already have blueprints because we send blueprints all around to our associates on all new bottles that we make for them. And they're ready to serve anybody in the free world. I think again, I'd just like to point out that a number of things that we have done and the diversification, I think I've probably been responsible for, but in no way could I have done it alone. And again, I want to thank everybody who'd had anything to do with the Wheaton Industries for the hard work and the effort that's been put in to make the world company that we have today. And I want to also thank all the people that put this party together. It's been a lot of work, and I'm just very appreciative of everything they've done. Thank you very much.
From Virginia Tech, the fabulous New Virginians.
so right tonight.
How glad the many millions of Toms and Dicks and Williams would be to capture me. But you had such persistence, you wore down my resistance. I fell, and it was swell. You're my big and brave and handsome Romeo. How I won you, I will never, ever know. It's not that you're attractive, but oh, my heart grew active when you came into view. I've got a crush on you, sweetie pie, all the day and night time. Hear me sigh, I never had the least notion that I could fall with so much emotion. Could you could you care for a cunning cottage? We could share the world, would pardon my much. 'Cause I've got a crush, my baby, on you. Could you care for a cunning cottage? We could share the world, would pardon my much. 'Cause I have got a crush, my baby, on you.
I hope you're as excited as I am, ladies and gentlemen, because we have here with us tonight one of the most recognizable, prominent, and perhaps best-loved statesmen in the United States today. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 38th President of the United States, President Gerald Ford.
Well, thank you very, very much, Frank. Most impressive. Another sign of great craftsmanship here at Wheaton Industries, and on behalf of my wife Betty and myself, I thank you and thank all of you for making it possible. Let me be very honest and frank. It's truly a great, great pleasure to come to Millville on this very auspicious occasion. I'm tremendously impressed with the 100 years of achievement of the Wheaton Industries. I was fascinated sitting backstage, reading the history of this company and its first venture into glassmaking in 1888. I was equally impressed with the Wheaton family's dedication to growth and to success for this company. You should be very proud, as I'm certain you are, particularly those who did the job during World War II, the recognition that the company got during that conflict in our nation's history. I'm highly complimented. to be here and to say to the management and to the employees for the company's industrial achievements in the last 40 years. The vision of the management, the character and the dedication and the cooperation of the employees has made Wheaton Industries what it is today. And you know the history infinitely better than I. You're not only a major factor in the United States, but have a global impact in the glassmaking and plastic industry. I join all of you in celebrating this century of progress, and I congratulate you. Remember that all of us, Democrats, Independents, Republicans, are striving together to create a more perfect union with liberty and justice and equality for all. Let's also remember our unwritten compact of respect for the conviction of others and faith in the decency of others, which allows all of us the luxury of rugged economic and political competition. And finally, may I say, let's all work to banish war from our shrinking world and hate from our expanding hearts, and make this whole planet as full of friendship as this hall on this occasion. Thank you very much.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we